Hello, English learners. Welcome back to Talk English Now. I'm Sarah, and today we're going to explore simple and powerful ways to remember English words easily, so you can speak with more confidence, fluency, and ease every single day. Before starting, I just want to let you know that we upload daily English learning videos every single day. So subscribe and stay connected with your English progress because I'm here to support you step by step on your journey. When you hear the phrase, remember English words easily, it might sound like something difficult or something that takes a lot of time, but the truth is, your brain loves patterns. It loves repetition, and it loves connection. When you learn new vocabulary in a natural way, and you connect those words to real life, your mind begins to hold them more deeply. Today, I will walk with you through this process in a very gentle, simple way, so that every word you learn can stay with you longer and become a part of the English you use every day. Think of this lesson as a safe space where you can relax, listen, repeat, shadow, and truly absorb the language without pressure and without rushing. I want you to feel that you're learning with a teacher who understands your fears, your goals, and who is here to help you feel more confident with your English. Let's begin with something very important. When you learn a new word, don't only memorize it like you're preparing for an exam. Instead, connect the word to a picture, a story, or a feeling. Your brain remembers stories far better than simple definitions. For example, imagine the word confident. Instead of just repeating the definition, imagine yourself walking into a room and speaking clearly. Imagine the warm feeling in your chest when you speak English, and someone understands you. When the word becomes a part of a picture or an emotion, your mind holds on to it more naturally. This is what we'll practice together today. Now take a slow breath and relax your shoulders a little. Sometimes English learners feel stressed because remembering vocabulary seems hard. But stress is actually the biggest enemy of memory. When you relax your body, your mind opens. When your mind opens, the words stay inside more easily. So as you listen to me, stay calm, stay soft, and let the learning flow naturally. Let's try a small practice. I want you to repeat some words after me, slowly. But I don't want you to think of them like vocabulary lists. I want you to picture them, feel them, and imagine them in your daily life. Ready? Repeat after me gently. Comfortable. Picture yourself sitting in your favorite place, feeling relaxed. Organized. Imagine your desk or your room neatly arranged. Everything in the right place. Grateful. Imagine something in your life that makes you smile and gives you warmth. Now let's shadow them together in a natural rhythm. Shadowing means you speak with me almost at the same time, letting the sounds shape your mouth and flow through you. It helps you remember words not just with your mind, but with your voice and your body. So speak along with me. Comfortable, organized, grateful. Feel the sound, feel the movement, and feel your confidence grow with each repetition. You're not just memorizing the words, you're connecting them to your life, to your emotions, and to your identity as an English speaker. Another powerful way to remember words is to notice them in the world around you. When you watch a movie, listen to a song, or even scroll on your phone. Pay attention to English words that keep coming back. When a word shows up again and again, your brain marks it as important. That's why exposure matters so much. The more you see and hear English, the more vocabulary becomes familiar. Even if you don't try to memorize it, your brain is quietly learning in the background. That's something beautiful about language learning. You don't always have to force it. Sometimes learning simply happens because you show up daily and let English become a natural part of your day. Let's do another practice session. I'll give you a sentence, and I want you to repeat it slowly. Don't rush. Let each word land softly in your mind. I can learn new English words every day. I remember words more easily when I relax. English becomes easier when I practice a little every day. Now shadow them with me, in a smooth, comfortable rhythm. I can learn new English words every day. I remember words more easily when I relax. English becomes easier when I practice a little every day. As you say these sentences with me, notice how they feel in your mouth. Sometimes your body learns faster than your mind. When your mouth becomes familiar with the sound of a sentence, it becomes easier to recall later. This is why shadowing is such a powerful tool for fluency and vocabulary memory. It builds muscle memory, not just mental memory. Another helpful idea is to use vocabulary in your daily routine. For example, every time you do something, try to say the action in English in your mind. If you open a door, think open. If you drink water, think drink. If you start working, think begin. These tiny moments, repeated throughout your day, strengthen your vocabulary in a very real and practical way. You're not just studying English, you're living English. And when you live a language, you remember it much more naturally. Now take a moment and think of 3 things you did today. It can be anything small. Maybe you woke up. Maybe you ate breakfast. Maybe you checked your phone. Whatever it is, bring those moments to your mind. Now, in your own head, quietly describe those actions in English. Don't worry about perfection. Don't worry about grammar. Just softly say the actions. This tiny exercise helps your brain store vocabulary in long-term memory because you're connecting words to personal actions, not just reading them from a list. Before we move deeper into today's lesson, I want to add a small but very important reminder. If you're enjoying this lesson, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more daily English practice. It helps the lesson reach more learners, and it also helps you stay connected to new videos that can support your fluency every single day. Now let's continue gently. One of the easiest ways to remember vocabulary is through repeated exposure. But repetition doesn't mean doing the exact same thing again and again. Repetition can be gentle and varied. For example, hearing a word in a sentence, saying it out loud, writing it down briefly, using it in a small moment of your day, or hearing it again in a video like this. Each time you touch the word in a different way, your brain forms new connections. These connections create a web that holds the word in your memory with strength. Let's try another practice session. I'll say 3 useful everyday words, and I want you to imagine a little story for each one as you repeat. Prepare, relax, focus. Imagine preparing a small meal or a task. Imagine sitting back and letting your body soften. Imagine concentrating on something important to you. This emotional connection makes vocabulary unforgettable because your brain remembers feelings far more deeply than random information. When you think about remembering new vocabulary, it's important to know that your brain learns faster when the words feel useful. Sometimes English learners try to memorize big lists of words that they never use, and because those words don't connect to daily life, the brain simply lets them go. Instead of memorizing hundreds of words, choose a few that you can use immediately. Imagine learning the word improve. If you use it in a sentence today, maybe while talking to yourself or thinking about your goals, your brain will start to see it as a meaningful word. When a word feels meaningful, it becomes easier to remember. Let's practice with this idea now. Repeat this sentence after me. I want to improve my English vocabulary every day. As you say it, feel the meaning of the word improve. Picture yourself slowly getting better step by step with each video, each lesson, each practice session. Now shadow the sentence with me slowly, letting it become a part of your natural voice. I want to improve my English vocabulary every day. This kind of repetition with purpose strengthens the memory pathways in your mind. Another gentle and useful method is to link new vocabulary with familiar situations. For example, think about your morning. You might wake up, stretch, wash your face, eat something, check your messages, or start work. Each action can be connected to an English word. When you connect vocabulary to things you actually do, you avoid the feeling of learning something new and instead shift into learning something real. Let's do a quick exercise together. Imagine your morning routine and repeat after me. Wake up, stretch, prepare, begin, continue, finish. Now shadow them with me. Feel the rhythm of the words as they flow naturally from your mouth. When the rhythm feels natural, your memory becomes stronger. Now I want you to close your eyes for a moment if you can, or simply soften your focus. Think of one part of your day that you enjoy. It could be having tea, taking a walk, talking to a friend, listening to music, or relaxing in the evening. Now describe it in English quietly in your mind. Maybe say, I enjoy relaxing, or I like listening to music, or I feel calm when I walk. When you connect English vocabulary to your real emotions, your memory begins to open up and hold the words more deeply. You're not forcing yourself to remember them. You're gently letting them become a part of your life. Another powerful tool is imagining conversations. You don't need another person for this. You can create small conversations in your mind using new vocabulary. For example, imagine meeting someone and saying, I'm learning English every day. Or imagine someone asking, how do you remember new words? And you answering, I practice them in my daily life. When you create small scenes like this, vocabulary becomes more active. It moves from your passive memory into your active speaking ability. This is one of the biggest secrets of fluency. You train your brain not just to know words, but to use them naturally. Let's try visualizing a small conversation together. Imagine a friend asking you, what new word did you learn today? And you say, I learned the word confident. Now imagine saying the sentence, I feel confident when I practice English every day. Now repeat it out loud with me. I feel confident when I practice English every day. Now shadow it with me. Feel the confidence in your voice. Allow the word to settle comfortably in your mind. This simple technique helps the words stay with you far more effectively than reading from a list. Another technique that many English learners find helpful is association. Association means connecting a new English word to something familiar in your own language or your own life. For example, if you learn the word motivation, you can connect it to something that motivates you, like your goals, your family, your dreams, or your desire to speak English confidently. You're building a bridge between the new word and something meaningful. Bridges make memory stronger, and stronger memories help you speak more fluently. Let's practice association together. I'll give you a word, and I want you to think of something personal that connects to it. The word is progress. Think of something in your life that shows progress. Maybe your English learning, your job, your health, or a challenge you've overcome. Now softly repeat the word, progress. Now shadow it with me. Notice how the word feels easier when it has meaning behind it. Connection is the heart of memory. Now let's focus on pronunciation for a moment. Sometimes English learners forget words not because the word is difficult, but because the pronunciation feels unfamiliar. When the mouth doesn't remember the movement, the brain doesn't store the word easily. That's why speaking out loud, shadowing with me, and practicing slowly helps your brain and your body remember the word together. Let's practice 3 everyday words that many learners struggle with. Repeat after me. Comfortable, available, memory. Now shadow them with me in a calm, steady rhythm. Comfortable, available, memory. Feel how the sounds connect. Feel how your tongue moves, how your breath changes, how the word shapes itself. When your body remembers the sound, your mind remembers the word. A great way to make vocabulary stick is to use it in simple sentences, not complicated ones, simple ones that feel real. Let's do that now. Repeat after me. This word is useful for me. I can remember this word easily. I understand this word better now. Now shadow the sentences with me. Let them feel natural, soft, and effortless. Repetition like this changes how your brain stores information. You're teaching your brain that these words matter. Another method for remembering vocabulary easily is consistency. When you practice a little every day, even for a few minutes, your brain stays warmed up. Think of it like warming your muscles before exercising. If you warm them every day, your body feels stronger. If you practice English vocabulary every day, your memory feels stronger. Even listening to a short video, saying a few sentences, or reading something simple can help your vocabulary grow without pressure. Let's practice a daily reminder sentence together. Repeat after me. A little English every day helps me remember more. Now shadow it with me. Feel the ease in your voice and the truth in the sentence. Small steps create big progress. Now take a moment to think about one English word that you learned recently. Bring it into your mind. Picture it. Say it quietly. Now imagine using that word in a sentence today, maybe when talking to yourself or thinking about your day. That tiny action can help the word settle into your long-term memory. As you continue this lesson, I want you to keep this idea with you. Vocabulary learning doesn't have to be stressful. It can be calm, peaceful, and slow. You don't need to memorize everything at once. You don't need to remember every word perfectly. You are building your English step by step, gently, consistently, and beautifully. Every time you listen, every time you repeat, every time you shadow, you're making real progress, even when you don't notice it immediately. As we continue working on remembering vocabulary more easily, I want you to notice something important about yourself. You are already learning more than you think. Sometimes English learners underestimate their progress because they are focused on the words they forget. But forgetting is a natural part of learning. Every time you forget a word and then remember it again, you are strengthening the memory. So don't worry if some words slip away. They're not lost. They're simply preparing to come back stronger. What matters is that you show up, like you're doing right now, listening, repeating, shadowing, and allowing the language to grow inside you. Let's build on this idea with a gentle practice. I will say 3 simple but powerful words, and I want you to repeat them softly. Then I'll guide you to shadow them with me. The words are patient, calm, and consistent. First, repeat after me. Patient, now. Calm, now. Consistent, good. Now shadow them with me naturally. Patient, calm, consistent. These 3 qualities are the foundation of easy vocabulary learning. Whenever you feel frustrated or tired, come back to these words. Let them guide your mindset. Another thing that helps you remember vocabulary is curiosity. When you feel curious about a word, your brain becomes more active. Instead of forcing yourself to learn, you become genuinely interested. Curiosity makes the word stick. For example, if you hear the word expand and you think, what does this mean exactly? How can I use it? Your brain becomes alert. That alertness creates a strong memory. Let's explore this with a short practice session. Repeat after me. Expand. Now imagine something in your life that expands. Your knowledge, your skills, your confidence. Now shadow the word with me. Expand. Notice how much easier it feels when you connect the meaning to something real. Now, I want you to think about the way children learn languages. Children don't sit down with vocabulary lists. They learn words because they hear them, use them, and repeat them without pressure. They learn through daily life. They learn through feelings and actions. You can learn the same way. Let's bring that childlike curiosity into your English practice. Think of a word you already know, like morning. Now think of its opposite, like night. Think of something related to it, like sunrise. Think of a sentence using it like, my morning was peaceful. This way, you're not just remembering one word, but building a small group of connected ideas. These connections make your memory stronger and your vocabulary more flexible. Let's try it together with the word practice. Repeat after me. Practice. Now think of something related to practice. Maybe improvement, routine, progress, learning. Now say this sentence with me. Practice helps me become a better English speaker. Now shadow the sentence with me. Let it become natural. When you plant a word inside a small network of connected thoughts, it becomes much harder for your brain to forget it. Another helpful technique is using your senses. Your senses help you learn faster because they add detail and emotion to your memory. For example, when you think of the word coffee, you might smell the aroma, see the color, feel the warmth of the cup. These sensory details make the word unforgettable. Let's practice with a word that carries emotion. The word is peaceful. Repeat after me. Peaceful. Now imagine a peaceful moment in your day, a quiet morning, a soft breeze, a gentle cup of tea, or a moment of silence. Now shadow the word with me. Peaceful. Feel how your memory holds the word more deeply when you add emotion. Another thing that helps with vocabulary memory is slowing down. When you try to learn too fast, the brain becomes overwhelmed and forgets easily. But when you slow down, your memory becomes clearer, stronger, and more focused. So as you listen to me, don't rush. Let each word flow in softly. Let each example land gently. You're not racing, you're absorbing. And absorption is the secret to long-term vocabulary memory. Let's take a slow breath together. Now repeat this sentence after me. I learn English at my own pace. Now shadow it with me. I learn English at my own pace. This sentence is important because it reminds you that learning is personal. You don't need to compare yourself to anyone else. You don't need to hurry. You just need consistency, curiosity, and gentle practice. Now let's work on another useful practice session. I will say a sentence, and I want you to repeat it slowly after me. Then we'll shadow it. These sentences are designed to help you connect vocabulary with meaning. Repeat after me. I build my vocabulary step by step. Now shadow it with me. I build my vocabulary step by step. Now repeat. I remember words more easily when I use them. Now shadow it with me. I remember words more easily when I use them. And finally, English becomes clearer when I listen carefully. Now shadow it with me. Feel how natural the rhythm becomes each time. Another idea I want to share with you is the importance of personal examples. Whenever you learn a new word, think of how it connects to your life. For example, if you learn the word grateful, think of something you are truly grateful for. If you learn the word progress, think of a moment when you saw progress in your English learning. These personal examples give the word emotional weight. Emotional weight makes memory stronger. Let's try this. Repeat the word grateful. Now think of something you appreciate today. Maybe your family, your health, your home, or even your dedication to learning English. Now shadow the word with me gently. Grateful. Notice how much more alive the word feels when you connect it to something personal. Let's explore another technique called micro-practice. Micro-practice means practicing very small pieces of English, very frequently. Instead of studying for 1 hour once a day, you can practice for 30 seconds many times through the day. For example, while walking, silently repeat a word. While waiting, say a sentence in your head. While eating, think of an English phrase. These tiny practices feel effortless, but they greatly help your memory because they keep English active in your thoughts. Repeat after me. Small practice makes a big difference. Now shadow it with me. Feel the truth in those words. Your memory grows through tiny moments, not just big study sessions. Now let's practice some everyday vocabulary that is easy to remember when used in simple sentences. Repeat after me. Prepare. Create. Notice. Now shadow them with me. Prepare. Create. Notice. These simple words appear often in daily life. When you use them naturally, your vocabulary becomes stronger, without pressure. Before we continue, take a moment to appreciate yourself for being here. You are giving your mind a chance to grow. You are developing your English in a calm and steady way. And you are proving to yourself that learning doesn't need to be stressful or complicated. You're doing wonderfully. Now, let's do one more practice before we move forward. Repeat this sentence after me. Every day, I learn a little more. Now shadow it with me. Every day, I learn a little more. Let this sentence guide you through your vocabulary journey. Small steps, gentle practice, and real connection. That's how you remember English words easily. As we move forward with this lesson, I want you to think about something very simple, but very powerful. The way your brain loves repetition mixed with meaning. When you repeat something without meaning, your mind easily forgets it. But when you repeat something meaningful, your mind holds on to it naturally. This is why connecting vocabulary to real life is one of the strongest ways to remember it. You don't need long, complicated methods. You just need gentle, meaningful exposure. And that's exactly what we're practicing together right now. Let's start with a soft practice. I'm going to give you 3 very common everyday words, and I want you to say them slowly after me. Then we'll shadow them together. Ready? Learn. Now, remember. Now, use. These 3 words are a beautiful foundation for your English journey. Now shadow them with me. Learn. Remember. Use. This natural rhythm helps your brain absorb vocabulary in a deeper way. You're not just repeating, you're letting the words become a part of your voice. Now, think about the moments in your day when you interact with English. Maybe you watch a short video, read a message, or hear a sentence that stays with you. These moments create what we call memory anchors. A memory anchor is something small but strong that helps you keep a word in your mind. For example, if you learn the word focus, and later in the day you hear someone say it again, your brain says, "Oh, I know this word." When this happens, the word becomes more familiar and easier to use. Familiarity is one of the keys to fluency. Let's practice with the word focus. Repeat after me. Focus. Now picture yourself concentrating on something meaningful, your goals, your dreams, your English learning. Now shadow the word with me. Focus. Feel how the word becomes clearer and more personal when you connect it to something important. Another technique that helps you remember vocabulary is slow speaking. Many English learners try to speak fast, thinking it makes them sound fluent. But speaking fast often creates more mistakes and more stress. When you speak slowly and clearly, your mind has time to choose the right words. Your pronunciation becomes smoother, and your memory becomes stronger. Fluency is not speed. Fluency is clarity and confidence. Let's practice slow speaking now. Repeat after me. I speak English slowly and clearly. Now shadow it with me. Feel the calm in your voice. This calmness is the space where memory grows. Now I want you to imagine a moment from your day, something small and simple. Maybe you made a cup of tea, or maybe you checked your phone. Now describe that moment in English in your mind. Something like, I made tea, or I checked my messages, or I relaxed in the morning. These short, simple sentences help your vocabulary stay active, and when vocabulary is active, it becomes strong. This is how you move from passive knowledge to confident speaking. Let's do a guided practice. Repeat this sentence after me. I use English to describe my day. Now shadow it with me. I use English to describe my day. Using English in simple daily thoughts is one of the best ways to build vocabulary. It doesn't require study time. It doesn't require pressure. It just requires a gentle intention to bring English into your thoughts. Another thing that helps your memory is contrast. Sometimes remembering a word becomes easier when you connect it to its opposite. For example, if you want to remember the word early, you can think of late. If you want to remember difficult, you can think of easy. This contrast creates a stronger memory signal in the brain. The brain learns through comparison, light and dark, hot and cold, fast and slow. Let's practice contrast with a simple example. Repeat after me. Easy. Now repeat. Difficult. Now shadow them with me. Easy. Difficult. When you connect words in pairs like this, they stay in your memory longer. Now let's work on something called emotional imprinting. Words become unforgettable when you attach emotions to them. For example, the word excited feels stronger when you think of a moment that truly made you excited. The word peaceful becomes easier to remember when you imagine a place that brings you peace. Emotional imprinting turns vocabulary into something real and alive. Let's try it. Repeat after me. Excited. Now think of a moment filled with joy or energy. Now shadow the word with me. Excited. Feel how much more connected the word feels. We'll try another one. Repeat after me. Peaceful. Now imagine a quiet moment, a slow morning, a gentle night, a comforting space. Now shadow the word with me. Let it settle softly. When a word carries an emotion, it becomes yours in a deeper way. Another valuable technique is using vocabulary in short conversations with yourself. You don't need another person. You can talk to yourself in your mind. Ask yourself simple questions and answer them. For example, ask, "What did I learn today?" and answer, "I learned new vocabulary." Or ask, "How do I feel today?" and answer, "I feel motivated." These mini conversations activate your vocabulary and help it move into long-term memory. Let's practice together. I'll ask a question, and I want you to answer it gently in your mind. My question is, what English word feels useful for you today? Think of one word, maybe remember, practice, confident, or anything from today's lesson. Now say a simple sentence with that word softly in your head. This tiny exercise strengthens your vocabulary instantly. Now let's do a shadowing session focused on full sentences. Repeat after me. I can remember English words more easily every day. Now shadow it with me. I can remember English words more easily every day. Repeat after me. I keep practicing, and I keep improving. Now shadow it with me. I keep practicing, and I keep improving. Repeat after me. Words stay with me when I use them in real life. Now shadow it with me. Feel yourself becoming more confident with every repetition. Before we continue, I want you to pause for a moment and notice something beautiful about your learning process. You are not only hearing English, you are thinking in English. You are feeling English. You are connecting vocabulary to your real emotions, your real life, your real experiences. This is how true fluency begins, not with memorizing long lists, but with living the language gently and consistently. Now take one more slow breath and repeat this sentence after me. I am becoming a stronger English speaker every day. Now shadow it with me. Let the words become a part of your belief about yourself, because you truly are progressing. As we continue this journey together, I want you to keep noticing how your relationship with English is slowly changing. Even as you listen now, your mind is becoming more familiar with certain words, certain rhythms, and certain patterns. That familiarity is one of the strongest signs of progress. When a word feels familiar, it becomes easier to remember. When a phrase feels natural, it becomes easier to use. So much of vocabulary learning is simply allowing English to become a comfortable part of your daily world. Let's start this part with a gentle practice. Repeat after me. Familiar. Now say it softly again. Familiar. Now shadow it with me, feeling each sound. Familiar. This word is a reminder that the more you expose yourself to English through listening, speaking, reading, or even thinking, the more natural the language becomes in your mind. You're not forcing the words to stay, you're welcoming them. Now think about the last English word you learned before this video. Maybe it was a simple one, maybe it was something new. Just bring it into your mind for a moment. Now say a sentence with that word softly to yourself. Something simple like, I learned this word yesterday. Or, I like using this word. Every time you give a word a place in your thoughts, your memory becomes stronger. You are planting the word like a small seed. And each time you repeat it, you water it a little more. Another method to strengthen vocabulary memory is what we can call gentle repetition. This is not the kind of repetition where you force yourself to say a word again and again. Instead, it's soft and natural repetition that happens throughout the day. When a word appears in your mind while you're walking, relaxing, or waiting for something, let yourself say it quietly or think it. These tiny repetitions help your brain feel safe with the word. Safe words stay longer. Let's practice gentle repetition with 3 useful vocabulary words. Repeat after me. Improve. Remember. Practice. Now shadow them with me. Improve. Remember. Practice. These 3 words carry the heart of learning. They remind you that every small effort counts. Another important idea that helps with vocabulary memory is using the language in your imagination. Your imagination is a powerful learning tool, and many learners underestimate it. When you imagine yourself using English in real situations, your brain treats the experience almost like real life. Imagining a conversation helps your memory just as much as having a real conversation. So let's try imagining a simple moment. Picture yourself in a calm cafe. You sit down with a warm drink. You hear gentle sounds around you. Now imagine someone asks, "How is your English practice going?" And you reply, "I'm improving every day. I'm learning new words and remembering them more easily." Repeat that reply after me. I'm improving every day. I'm learning new words and remembering them more easily. Now shadow it with me. Let it flow naturally. Imagination makes learning more alive. One of the most helpful ways to remember vocabulary is by hearing it in sentences. Words alone are good, but words in sentences are even better, because sentences show you how the words work together. When a word feels connected to something bigger, your memory holds it more firmly. Let's practice with a simple vocabulary word, progress. Repeat after me, progress. Now say this sentence, my English progress is growing every day. Now shadow it with me, my English progress is growing every day. This sentence is a reflection of what you're doing right now. Now, I want you to think of a moment when you surprised yourself with your English. Maybe you understood something you didn't expect to understand. Maybe you spoke more confidently than usual. Or maybe you remembered a word at the perfect moment. These moments are proof that your brain is learning, even when you don't notice it. Let's make that moment stronger by turning it into a practice sentence. Repeat after me. I surprised myself with my English today. Now shadow it with me. Feel the truth in the sentence. Every surprise is a sign of growth. Another method for stronger vocabulary memory is connecting new words to actions. When you say a word and imagine yourself doing the action, your brain stores the word in multiple ways: sound, meaning, image, and movement. This creates a deeper memory. Let's practice with the word organize. Repeat after me. Organize. Now imagine yourself organizing your desk or your space. Now say the sentence, I organize my things to stay calm and focused. Now shadow it with me. These connections make the word more real. Now think about a word like motivation. Motivation is not just a vocabulary word. It's a feeling. It's a push from inside you. When you attach an emotion to a word, it becomes unforgettable. Let's work with this word. Repeat after me. Motivation. Now think of something that motivates you to learn English. Maybe your career, your dreams, your family, your future. Now shadow the word with me. Motivation. Feel its energy. Another technique to help you remember English words more easily is to use your environment. Look around you right now, even if you're in a familiar place. Silently name the objects around you in English. If you see a window, think window. If you see your phone, think phone. If you see your chair, think chair. This practice is simple but powerful because it makes vocabulary part of your daily environment. The more you see English around you, the more you remember it naturally. Let's do a guided environment practice together. I'll say a word, and I want you to picture the object clearly in your mind. Table. Now imagine touching it. Door. Now imagine opening it. Light. Now imagine turning it on. These small visualizations make the vocabulary stronger because your brain learns through images. Now repeat these sentences after me. I can remember English words through images. Now shadow it with me. Again. I can remember English words through images. Feel how simple it becomes when you trust your natural learning ability. Another powerful idea is letting vocabulary settle instead of forcing it. Sometimes learners try so hard that the brain feels stressed, and when your brain is stressed, it blocks memory. But when you relax, listen softly, and trust the process, your memory opens. So let's bring your mind into a calm space for a moment. Take a slow breath, relax your shoulders, repeat after me. I remember more when I relax. Now shadow it with me. This truth will guide you in every lesson you take. You might not realize it yet, but you are building a strong foundation for your English. Every word, every repetition, every shadowing practice adds a new layer. You may not see the progress immediately, but you will feel it over time, gently, steadily, naturally. Before we move on, repeat this with me. I trust my learning process. Now shadow it with me. This belief is one of the strongest tools you have for remembering vocabulary easily. As we keep moving through this lesson together, I want you to feel how much more comfortable English vocabulary is becoming for you. With every minute you listen, your mind gets used to the rhythm of the language, the sound of new words, and the gentle process of repeating and shadowing. This kind of exposure is powerful. You may not always feel it immediately, but your brain is learning quietly, underneath the surface, making connections and storing words in deeper places. This is how vocabulary becomes natural, not forced. Let's begin this part with a gentle shadowing warm-up. Repeat after me. Steady. Now softly again. Steady. Now shadow it with me in a calm rhythm. Steady. This word reminds you that your progress is slow but steady. Every step matters, and every moment of listening adds to your growth. Now think about how your brain responds to language. When you hear a new word once, your brain might not remember it. But when you hear the same word again in a different sentence or a different context, your memory becomes stronger. When you use the word yourself, your memory becomes even stronger. Vocabulary learning is like building a bridge. Every exposure is another piece, another link. And eventually, the bridge becomes strong enough to carry your confidence. Let's try this with the word develop. Repeat after me, develop. Now imagine yourself developing your skills, developing your fluency, developing confidence. Now shadow it with me, develop. Notice how the word feels when you connect it to your growth. These connections make the word easier to remember. Another important method for vocabulary memory is listening for patterns. English has many patterns that appear again and again. For example, many adjectives end with full, like beautiful, careful, useful. Many nouns end with chin, like motivation, translation, conversation. When you notice these patterns, remembering becomes easier because you're not learning one word. You're learning a group of words that share a connection. Your brain loves patterns because patterns make learning smoother. Let's practice this gently. Repeat after me. Beautiful. Now careful. Now useful. Shadow them with me. Beautiful, careful, useful. Feel the pattern. Now repeat after me. Motivation. Now translation. Now conversation. Shadow with me. Motivation. Translation. conversation. These patterns help your brain predict what words mean and how they sound. Prediction is a powerful tool for memory. Now I want you to think of a word that you sometimes use incorrectly or forget easily. Maybe it's a word you've heard many times, but somehow it disappears from your mind when you need it. Bring that word into your thoughts, even if you're not fully sure about it. Now imagine yourself using it in a simple sentence. It doesn't matter if the sentence is perfect. What matters is that you give your brain a chance to practice. Repeat this sentence after me. I can remember this word with practice. Now shadow it with me gently. This sentence helps your mind relax around the word instead of feeling tension. Another technique that improves memory is linking vocabulary to movement. Even if you're sitting still, your brain likes when you imagine movement because it activates a different part of your memory. For example, if you learn the word reach, imagine reaching for something physically. If you learn the word lift, imagine lifting something in your mind. These imagined movements make the word stick. Let's try it. Repeat after me. Reach. Now imagine your arm stretching forward. Now shadow the word with me. Reach. Feel how the meaning becomes clearer when you imagine the movement. Now try this one. Lift. Repeat it softly. Imagine picking up something light. Now shadow it with me. Lift. These sensory connections are small but powerful tools for strong vocabulary memory. Another helpful method is speaking slowly to yourself throughout the day. You don't need to form long sentences. Even small words spoken quietly can help. When you speak softly, your brain takes in the sound without stress. Stress blocks memory. Calmness opens memory. So take a moment now to slow your voice and repeat after me. I learn calmly. Now shadow it with me. I learn calmly. This gentle pace keeps your mind open. Now, let's do a deeper practice with visualization. Visualization means creating a picture in your mind. Your brain remembers pictures very well, so combining a picture with a word makes it easier to hold on to. Let's work with the word routine. Repeat after me. Routine. Now imagine your daily routine: waking up, drinking something warm, getting ready, starting your day. Now shadow the word with me. Routine. When you attach a picture to a word, the picture helps you recall the word later. Let's do another one. Repeat after me. Confidence. Now picture yourself speaking English comfortably, expressing yourself clearly, feeling proud of your progress. Now shadow the word with me. Confidence. Words become stronger when you pair them with images that matter to you. Another method that works beautifully is emotional echoing. Emotional echoing means saying a word while letting yourself feel the emotion behind it. For example, the word hopeful becomes easier to remember when you actually feel hope. Let's try this. Repeat after me. Hopeful. Now think of something that gives you hope. Maybe your English future, your dreams, or someone who supports you. Now shadow the word with me. Hopeful. That emotional echo strengthens your memory. Now let's return to simple but powerful repetition. Repeat after me. I remember English words naturally. Shadow it with me. I remember English words naturally. Repeat after me. My vocabulary is growing every day. Shadow it with me. Let the sentence become part of your belief about yourself. The more you believe in your ability, the stronger your memory becomes. Before we continue, I want to remind you of something very important. Learning English is not just about memorizing words. It's about letting the language become a gentle part of your life. Some days you may learn many new words. Some days you may learn only one. Both days matter. Progress is progress, no matter the size. Now let's close this part with a final gentle practice. Repeat after me. I am learning at the perfect speed for me. Now shadow it with me. I am learning at the perfect speed for me. This sentence helps your mind relax into the process, and a relaxed mind remembers more. As we move into the last part of this lesson, I want you to notice how much calmer and more connected you feel with English now compared to when we first began. This calm connection is one of the most important signs of true learning. When your mind feels safe and relaxed, vocabulary flows in more naturally. You begin to remember words not because you force them, but because they become part of your daily rhythm, part of your thinking, part of your voice. You're no longer memorizing words as separate pieces. You're absorbing them as living parts of your English experience. Let's begin this final section with a gentle warm-up. Repeat after me. Absorb. Now softly again. Absorb. Now shadow it with me in a slow, natural rhythm. Absorb. Imagine the word sinking into your mind like a soft drop of water being absorbed by the earth. This is how vocabulary grows inside you. Quietly. Naturally. Deeply. Now think about a moment in your day when English comes into your mind without you trying. Maybe when you see something and the English word appears automatically. Maybe when you hear a sound and your brain forms a small English phrase. These moments are signs that your brain is beginning to switch into English mode more often. That switching is a powerful signal that vocabulary is becoming easier to remember. Let's strengthen this feeling with a simple practice. Repeat after me. English is becoming more natural for me. Now shadow it with me, letting your voice flow smoothly. This gentle confirmation helps your brain trust the process. One of the most effective techniques for vocabulary memory is using your emotions as anchors. When you learn a word while feeling a certain way, calm, excited, hopeful, your brain stores the word with that emotion later. When you feel something similar, the word rises to the surface. This is why emotional learning is stronger than mechanical learning. So let's try it together. Repeat after me. Encouraged. Now imagine yourself feeling encouraged, supported, and proud of your progress. Now shadow the word with me. Encouraged. Feel the energy it carries. Another method that truly strengthens memory is storytelling. When you place a word inside a story, even a very small story, your brain forms deeper connections. Stories help your mind organize information, and organized information is easier to remember. So let's create a tiny story together. Repeat after me. Today I learned new English words. Now say, I used them in simple sentences. Now say, and I feel proud of my progress. Now shadow the whole story with me softly. These simple stories help your mind hold on to vocabulary in a more meaningful way. Now let's work on building a stronger connection with words that describe feelings. Feeling-based vocabulary sticks easily because it connects to your inner world. Repeat after me. Calm. Now think of a calm moment. Shadow it with me. Now repeat. Motivated. Feel a small spark inside you. Shadow it with me. Now repeat. Confident. Picture yourself speaking English with ease. Shadow it with me. These emotional connections make the words feel like a part of your identity. Another useful technique is repetition with variation. When you repeat the same sentence in slightly different ways, your brain learns the meaning of the words more deeply. Let's practice this. Repeat after me. I can remember new vocabulary. Now repeat. I remember words more easily each day. Now repeat. New words stay in my mind longer now. Now shadow the sentences with me one by one. These variations teach your brain the same message through different pathways, making memory stronger. Now imagine a moment in the future. Picture yourself speaking English fluently with someone. Feel the comfort in your voice, the clarity of your sentences, the ease in your mind. This future version of you already remembers vocabulary easily. This future version of you speaks confidently, and that future version is being built right now, in this moment, with every word you practice. Let's connect to that future version for a moment. Repeat after me. I am becoming a confident English speaker. Now shadow it with me. Let the sentence become part of your belief system. Now let's practice with movement-based visualization again because it activates strong memory pathways. Repeat after me. Step. Now imagine taking a step forward. Shadow it with me. Now repeat. Grow. Imagine yourself growing in knowledge and confidence. Shadow it with me. These tiny movement-based memories help you keep the word inside your long-term learning. Let's do one more deep practice session together before we start closing. Repeat after me slowly. I remember new English words when I hear them in many ways. Now shadow it with me. Repeat after me. I use new vocabulary in simple sentences. Now shadow it with me. Repeat after me. I am building a strong and natural English vocabulary. Now shadow it with me. Let these sentences settle inside you. They are not just sentences. They are gentle instructions to your brain, teaching it how to learn. Now take a slow breath and think about where you began. Think about how many words you've repeated, how many sentences you've shadowed, how many moments you've connected to meaning, emotion, and daily life. You may not notice every small improvement, but it's happening. Your brain is building stronger pathways. Your memory is becoming clearer. You are learning. Before we close, repeat this with me. I am proud of my English progress. Now shadow it with me. You deserve that feeling of pride. You are showing dedication, patience, and curiosity. And these qualities will continue to help you remember English vocabulary naturally and confidently. And now, as we come to the end of this lesson, I want to thank you for spending this time with me. You showed up for your learning today. You practiced with intention, and you allowed yourself to grow. I am truly proud of you. Remember that every small practice counts. Every new word makes a difference. Every gentle repeat strengthens your fluency. You are becoming more confident, more natural, and more capable every single day. Keep going. Keep believing in yourself, and keep taking small steps. They truly add up to big progress. Thank you for learning with me today. I hope you feel more confident, more relaxed, and more connected to your English vocabulary. I'll be here with another lesson for you tomorrow, ready to guide you again. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss future lessons. I'll see you in the next one. As we move into the last part of this lesson, I want you to notice how much calmer and more connected you feel with English now compared to when we first began. This calm connection is one of the most important signs of true learning. When your mind feels safe and relaxed, vocabulary flows in more naturally. You begin to remember words not because you force them, but because they become part of your daily rhythm, part of your thinking, part of your voice. You're no longer memorizing words as separate pieces. You're absorbing them as living parts of your English experience. Let's begin this final section with a gentle warm-up. Repeat after me. Absorb. Now softly again. Absorb. Now shadow it with me in a slow, natural rhythm. Absorb. Imagine the words sinking into your mind like a soft drop of water being absorbed by the earth. This is how vocabulary grows inside you. Quietly, naturally, deeply. Now think about a moment in your day when English comes into your mind without you trying. Maybe when you see something and the English word appears automatically. Maybe when you hear a sound and your brain forms a small English phrase. These moments are signs that your brain is beginning to switch into English mode more often. That switching is a powerful signal that vocabulary is becoming easier to remember. Let's strengthen this feeling with a simple practice. Repeat after me. English is becoming more natural for me. Now shadow it with me, letting your voice flow smoothly. This gentle confirmation helps your brain trust the process. One of the most effective techniques for vocabulary memory is using your emotions as anchors. When you learn a word while feeling a certain way, calm, excited, hopeful, your brain stores the word with that emotion. Later, when you feel something similar, the word rises to the surface. This is why emotional learning is stronger than mechanical learning. So let's try it together. Repeat after me. Encouraged. Now imagine yourself feeling encouraged, supported, and proud of your progress. Now shadow the word with me. Encouraged. Feel the energy it carries. Another method that truly strengthens memory is storytelling. When you place a word inside a story, even a very small story, your brain forms deeper connections. Stories help your mind organize information, and organized information is easier to remember. So let's create a tiny story together. Repeat after me. Today I learned new English words. Now say, I used them in simple sentences. Now say, and I feel proud of my progress. Now shadow the whole story with me softly. These simple stories help your mind hold on to vocabulary in a more meaningful way. Now let's work on building a stronger connection with words that describe feelings. Feeling-based vocabulary sticks easily because it connects to your inner world. Repeat after me. Calm. Now think of a calm moment. Shadow it with me. Now repeat. Motivated. Feel a small spark inside you. Shadow it with me. Now repeat. Confident. Picture yourself speaking English with ease. Shadow it with me. These emotional connections make the words feel like a part of your identity. Another useful technique is repetition with variation. When you repeat the same sentence in slightly different ways, Your brain learns the meaning of the words more deeply. Let's practice this. Repeat after me. I can remember new vocabulary. Now repeat. I remember words more easily each day. Now repeat. New words stay in my mind longer now. Now shadow the sentences with me one by one. These variations teach your brain the same message through different pathways, making memory stronger. Now imagine a moment in the future. Picture yourself speaking English fluently with someone. Feel the comfort in your voice, the clarity of your sentences, the ease in your mind. This future version of you already remembers vocabulary easily. This future version of you speaks confidently. And that future version is being built right now, in this moment, with every word you practice. Let's connect to that future version for a moment. Repeat after me. I am becoming a confident English speaker. Now shadow it with me. Let the sentence become part of your belief system. Now let's practice with movement-based visualization again, because it activates strong memory pathways. Repeat after me. Step. Now imagine taking a step forward. Shadow it with me. Now repeat. Grow. Imagine yourself growing in knowledge and confidence. Shadow it with me. These tiny movement-based memories help you keep the word inside your long-term learning. Let's do one more deep practice session together before we start closing. Repeat after me slowly. I remember new English words when I hear them in many ways. Now shadow it with me. Repeat after me. I use new vocabulary in simple sentences. Now shadow it with me. Repeat after me. I am building a strong and natural English vocabulary. Now shadow it with me. Let these sentences settle inside you. They are not just sentences. They are gentle instructions to your brain, teaching it how to learn. Now take a slow breath and think about where you began. Think about how many words you've repeated, how many sentences you've shadowed, how many moments you've connected to meaning, emotion, and daily life. You may not notice every small improvement, but it's happening. Your brain is building stronger pathways. Your memory is becoming clearer. You are learning. Before we close, repeat this with me. I am proud of my English progress. Now shadow it with me. You deserve that feeling of pride. You are showing dedication, patience, and curiosity. And these qualities will continue to help you remember English vocabulary naturally and confidently. And now, as we come to the end of this lesson, I want to thank you for spending this time with me. You showed up for your learning today. You practiced with intention, and you allowed yourself to grow. I am truly proud of you. Remember that every small practice counts. Every new word makes a difference. Every gentle repeat strengthens your fluency. You are becoming more confident, more natural, and more capable every single day. Keep going, keep believing in yourself, and keep taking small steps. They truly add up to big progress. Thank you for learning with me today. I hope you feel more confident, more relaxed, and more connected to your English vocabulary. I'll be here with another lesson for you tomorrow, ready to guide you again. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss future lessons. I'll see you in the next one.